Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we talk about all things financial literacy. And today we're going to be doing a walkthrough of the steps to forming an LLC in the state of New York. So this video will be broken down into 5 easy steps, and I'll also be taking you over to the Secretary of State website. And that's where we're going to show you the step-by-step process of how to actually file this. Now, there are some things that are unique to the city of New York that we're going to be going through. First thing we're going to be discussing is choosing a name. Secondly, we're going to be talking about finding a registered agent. Third, we're going to discuss how to obtain your EIN. Number 4, we're going to be talking about publication, which is something that's unique to New York. And then 5, we'll show you how to file the LLC step by step. So let's discuss choosing a name really quick. Even though it's one of those steps that I think are highly underrated, it's one that's very important, especially when you're trying to create an LLC in the state of New York. Naming issues are the primary cause of LLC filing rejections in the state of New York. You want to make sure that the name ends with LLC, LTD Co., or LC. You want to also avoid anything that implies that you're in a high-risk industry, such as banking, gambling, insurance, or other businesses that require special licensing. So you want to also make sure that your name is available. There is a portal that you can go through for New York business name search that will allow you to verify if your name is available. I highly recommend you doing this before you do anything else. All the steps we're going to be taking going forward are heavily reliant that this name is available and that it is correct. Once you verify this information, you can confirm and secure a website using that name. I recommend that you get your domain name immediately. That way you can make sure that no one's able to take it. So once you secure that domain name, then you can move on to the next step, which is going to be the registered agent. This is going to be the person that receives important legal documentation, such as government notices or legal action against your business. In New York, the Secretary of State automatically assumes this role, which is good. However, your business address must be filed to have any documentation forwarded. So with that being said, you want to remember your name and address will become public record. I highly recommend using a virtual address, or you use a registered agent, which in New York, that might be preferable because we're going to talk about publication. Publication is something that's unique to New York, and that you may want to consider having a registered agent other than just yourself. That's going to be something that we're going to talk about. But before we do, we're going to talk about obtaining your EIN. Term is employer identification number. It refers to a unique identifier that's assigned to a business entity so that it's easily identifiable to the IRS for the purpose of reporting taxes for your business. The number is made up of 9 digits and its formatting looks like this: XX dash and then the rest of the digits. Businesses can apply for their EIN through the IRS website. We're going to go over there now, and I'm going to show you exactly where you can find this. Currently, we are on irs.gov. When you first get to the website, you're going to go down here where it says apply for an employer ID number. That is your EIN number. Now, I would show you step by step how to do this, but today it's Sunday and it is not available. This is the hours of operation. It's Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in the state of New York, this is going to be your local time. When it is available, though, it's a very simple process. It should not take you more than, I would say, 5 minutes or less to complete that. And again, it is free. You do not have to pay for that. It is important for your business documentation, and you will get an EIN letter that you can download once you complete this step. Now let's talk about publication. So this is something that, again, is unique to New York. In order for you to meet the New York LLC publication requirements, all LLCs, along with LPs, LLPs, and PLLCs doing business in New York, must publish legal notice in 2 local newspapers for 6 weeks. You need to obtain an affidavit of publication, file a certificate of publication with the New York Department of State. Like many things in New York, publication requirement is neither straightforward nor it is cheap, But I'm going to help you break down the process. Hopefully, it'll help you save money, and then you'll be able to skip ahead. I put the links in the description for some of the things that you're going to need. You want to get your affidavit of publication once your 6 weeks of publication are up. Each newspaper should send you an affidavit of publication. The affidavit of publication is proof that your legal notice actually ran in the newspaper. You should have two of them, one of them from a daily newspaper, the other from a weekly newspaper. The newspaper also should include clips, and that is copies of, yourself showing that your business actually ran these ads. You'll attach the clips, the affidavit of publication, to your certificate of publication. Now, why is this necessary? The New York LLC law, section 206, it requires all LLCs to publish legal notices announcing themselves to the public. So that's really it. In a nutshell, you just have to publish that you're doing business now in the state of New York. And again, it's two newspapers, one daily, one weekly, for 6 consecutive weeks. And it has to be in the county where your principal business address is located. You need to do this within 120 days of forming or registering your LLC in New York. Hiring a registered agent in this case might be good if you are in the state of New York. You can list whatever the office is for your registered agent as your articles of organization office address. Now, when you do this, it allows you to publish in the county where your registered agent is located. So, for example, if you have an office in Albany where publication fees are low, around $150, you can meet the publication requirements there. Thus, you'll be saving money. I highly recommend that you do a Google search. Google the county that makes the most sense for you, and then look for a registered agent in that county. When you do that next, find a few places where you can run articles, the most cost-effective ones, the ones for the week, and then the ones for the daily. You want to find those, and the ones that have, more than likely there's a business that you can find that does this on the regular for businesses, and then they'll be able to send you this once you are done, okay? These are going to be the first 2 steps in order to taking care of your publication in the city of New York. Now let's move on to the next 2 steps. Now, once this has been done, you want to file the certificate of publication. So once you have your affidavit of publication in hand, you are ready for these final steps. You're going to be filing a certificate of publication with the New York Department of State. And to fill out the certificate of publication, you'll need to provide the following: your LLC's business name, your LLC's formation date, a signature from a member, a manager, or another person who's authorized to do this on behalf of your business. And then you'll need the name and mailing address of whoever is filing the form. After you complete the form, mail it to the New York Department of State, and the filing should include your certificate of publication, your affidavit of publication. Again, you should have 2 of these. You got them from both the newspaper, the one that ran daily, and the one that ran weekly. You should have a check or a money order of $50 payable to the Department of State. And note that standard processing can take up to 7 months. If you pay an extra $25, then you can expedite this process. So $75, but you can expedite it. I highly recommend that. Now, you can file the certificate of publication by mail. You need to complete a form DOS-1708-F. I'm going to show you what that form looks like, but I'm also going to have it in the description where you can download that. So you're going to be mailing this to the Department of State, Division of Corporations, State Record, and Uniform Commercial Code, 1 Commerce Plaza, 99 Washington Ave. That's Albany, New York, 12231. All right, so let's actually check out this form right now so you can get a better idea of what you're going to be doing. Here is a copy of that form. You're going to see New York State, the department, the Division of Corporations, and this is the address for you to mail it to. And then document and certificate cover sheet. This is the cover sheet where you're going to put your contact information, your mailing address, your email, your phone number, the request for filing of document, the exact name of your business, the document type, and you can add all of that information here. Certificate of incorporation, articles of organization, certificate of amendment, whatever it is that you're trying to do, the request for copies or certificate of status. And then as we scroll down, the method of filing. So all documents will be returned to the email address listed above, with the exception of certified and uncertified copies filed before July 1990. And then the certificate of publication of, and then name of domestic limited liability company. So you put your business name here. And then the undersigned is if you're a one member LLC, then you'll just put that you're the member, and then you'll put your name. And then if the name of the limited liability company has changed, then the name under which it was organized is the former name. And then the articles of organization were filed by the Department of State on, you put the date that it was filed. The published notices described in the annexed affidavits of publication contain all of the information required by Section 206 of the Limited Liability Company Law. The newspaper described in such affidavits of publication satisfied the requirements set forth in the Limited Liability Company Law and the designation made by the county clerk. I certify the foregoing statement to be true under penalties of perjury. The date, your signature, type or print your name here, your business under Section 206 of Limited Liability Company, filer's name, mailing address, and then here are some additional notes here that you can go over. And then it's letting you know that the certificate of publication with the affidavits of publication of the newspaper annexed must be submitted with a $50 filing fee payable to the Department of State. So make sure that you include that filing fee when you complete this form. All right. Now, once you have all of this put together with all of the things that we needed, you're going to mail that, and then that'll complete your publication for the state of New York. We can now move on to the articles of organization. So an article of organization is required by the state of New York to create an LLC and contains information regarding the business. It lists the business name, type of business, the members, and the purpose of your business. It can also be used in creating your company's bylaws. Now, this is going to be the last step for us to complete in order to actually file the LLC. I like to do the publication first before I talk about this, just because I want you to know what's going to happen afterwards. And then you can take care of all that, like download the form and just get all of that in mind. Figure out exactly where you want to, have your registered agent, because based off of that might change the address that's going to be on the articles of organization. So I like to start with publication before this one, even though technically it happens afterwards. I just want to make note of that. So now this link is going to be in the description as well if you want to click on that, but that's going to get us to the Secretary of State for New York, so we can actually file your articles of organization and then create your LLC. Currently, we are on the Secretary of State website for New York and forming a limited liability company in New York. The first part here, we can actually skip. I may just read a portion of it, but forming a limited liability company in New York recognizes many business forms, including the limited liability company, corporation, limited partnership, sole proprietorship, general partnership, and other less familiar forms. Each has its own advantage and disadvantages for any particular venture. Personal and business circumstances will dictate the business form of choice. The Department of State cannot offer advice about the choice of business form and strongly recommends consulting with legal and financial advisors before making the choice. Forming an LLC should only be done after careful analysis. The following information has been developed to answer your questions regarding formation of an LLC and to assist in the filing of the articles of organization. Department of State staff cannot provide legal advice. However, they are available to assist in answering questions about filing LLC documents. All right, that's just a little information that we have here for questions. So if you had something additional, you could go here. A lot of questions are answered for you, but if not, you can contact them if you have any specific questions. Now, this is what I wanted to get to, the filing fee. The fee of filing the articles of incorporation is $200, which is pretty good, based off of some other ones that I've seen. The fee may be paid by cash, check, money order, MasterCard, Visa, or American Express. Checks and money orders should be made payable to the Department of State. Do not send cash through the mail. Complete and sign the credit card, debit card authorization form. Expedited handling services and certified copies are available for an additional fee. Now, if you did want to file your articles of organization by mail, send the complete articles of organization with the filing fee of $200 to New York State Department of State Division of Corporation, State Records and Uniform Commercial Code to 1 Commerce Plaza, 99 Washington Ave, Albany, New York, 12231. You can do that in person. But for this demonstration, we're going to be doing it all online. We're not going to be looking at doing this in person or by mail. Now that we've gone through the filing fee information, we're going to scroll back up to the very top here, and then we're going to go to licensing and business. You're going to click on form a corporation or business. Now, this should be the page that you get when you go to form a corporation or business. You want to scroll all the way down, and then you want to go to limited liability company, articles of organization. Once we get here, we're going to simply scroll down, and then we're going to go to file online. Now, once you get here, we're going to look for domestic limited liability company, and we're going to click on that. Now, this is going to be where you will find your forms. So before we go to the apply section, this is just going to be some things that you have here, like reservation of name, expedited handling fees, just letting you know, like articles of organization, certificate of publication. It's letting you know all of the fees that you have in addition to just the filing, and then the duration and processing. So you know exactly how long this might take. If you want to refer back here, then you can. There's also some additional information that you can refer back to, but it's the same thing that we covered. But if you just want to go back and read it at a later point, then you can do that as well. Let's scroll back up. And then we're going to go to apply online as an owner. Now, after you clicked on apply online as an owner, you're going to get this screen, and then you want to go to register here. More than likely you haven't registered yet. So we're going to have to do that in order to set up this account. Now it says you are leaving New York Business Express. You have clicked a link that will take you away. We do want to go away for 1 second, and we're going to click proceed. Now here we're going to enter our first name, last name, email address, and then we're going to confirm the email address. You're also going to create a user ID for this new account. Now, before you continue, it's going to have you confirm the information. Once you confirm the information, you can hit continue, and then you're going to get this. Please follow the link to activate your account within 48 hours. You're going to get an email. You're going to activate the account. And then once it's activated, we're going to go back to the screen that we just left off on, which is going to be back here where it says I have an NY.gov account. And then we're going to click on login here. All right. And then with the username that you created and your password, it should have been 14 characters. You're going to enter that here. Now, because I already made one before I recorded this, I wasn't able to actually show you the part where it's asking for security questions. It will ask you to create 3 security questions prior to you being able to complete the activation of the account. So you'll want to go ahead and do that. When you do that, you still go back to that same screen where it asks you to sign in, and then you're going to sign in with that information right here. Now, once you signed in, there should have been an option for Business Express. You're going to click on that, and then you're going to get this, New York Business Express. Now you can enter the name of your limited liability company, and it'll actually check the name to make sure that it's available for you. So let's go ahead and enter our name now. Now, know that this should have been done prior, before we did anything else. We should have already made sure that our name was available. So this should not come as a surprise. We should be able to find our name here, but I'm going to enter Stephen New Business LLC. Something very, very simple. Let's check name. And there we go. The name is accepted. So we're all good to go. We're going to re-enter the business name here. Then we're going to go to save and continue. So now we're going to be working on name, verification, and county. So let's start with the first part here. We're going to be checking anything that is applicable. So the undersigned being a natural person of at least 18 years of age and acting as the organizer of the limited liability company, hereby being formed under section 203 of the limited liability company law of the state of New York, certifies that. So let's go ahead and just check that. Limited liability company name. The name of the limited liability company is. So this is our name. I just made it, Stephen New Business LLC. Does the name of the limited liability company contain any non-English words or phrases? So the answer to that more than likely is no, but if it's not, then you can click yes, whatever is applicable to you. So now that we've confirmed the name of our limited liability company, there is an optional purpose clause. You can read this, but we can actually bypass it. The next thing I want to take a look at is the county. The county within this state in which the office of the limited liability company is to be located is, and if we scroll all the way down, we can get all of the different counties that we are in. That's up to you to decide which one you're going to be using. This can be based off of your registered agent. It says tip here, please select a county from the select county drop down box. The county selected should reflect the county in which the office of the limited liability company is to be located. Again, if you're using a registered agent, then it may have to be that agent's county. Once you've chosen your county, you can click save and continue, and we'll move on to the next part. Now we are on service of process. The Secretary of State is designated as agent of the limited liability company upon whom process against the limited liability company may be served. The post office address to which the Secretary of State shall mail a copy of any process against the limited liability company served upon the Secretary of State by personal delivery is. So now we're going to enter our name. Provide a name, person, or entity to which the Secretary of State may mail a copy of any process received. So I entered my first and last name, my address that I'm going to be having this mail sent to, and then we're going to go to the next option. Now, the next one is the optional electronic service of process. If you click on this, you'll be able to add your email and then confirm it here. You might want to do that. For now, I'm just going to bypass that. And then we have the optional registered agent. Include the following statement, not required by statute. The limited liability company designates the following as its registered agent upon whom process against it may be served within the state of New York is. Now, you can select a service company. If you have a company, you can also enter registered agent information. If I click on the company, I do have the option of actually choosing the city. So we know that it can be the Secretary of State. It can also be the registered agent that you appoint, and it could also be yourself. You can be your own registered agent. For the purpose of having a lower fee when you do the publication, it is up to you to decide how you want to process this. Do whatever is best for you. Okay, but once you have figured that out, we're going to save and continue. Now, the next thing we're going to be going over is the management structure. Now, this is also optional, but if you're a one-member LLC like most people are, you're going to probably do one or more member. This is who this company will be managed by. So I'm just going to leave it one or more. If you have one or more managers, then you could pick managers. If you have one or more member, then just leave this option for one or more members. Now, optional effective date. You're going to include the following statement. The existence of the limited liability company shall begin. Most of us are just going to have this begin upon filing of these articles of organization with the Department of State, meaning the moment that this business becomes registered, that's going to be the date that we're going to have here, or you can actually schedule the following date 90 days out. But I'm just going to select upon filing. That's the easiest one. And then we're going to move on to this next option. So include the following statement. The duration of the limited liability company is. If you plan on dissolving this company after a certain point, then you can choose that. But I'm going to select the limited liability company shall have perpetual existence until you decide that you want to dissolve it, if or when that's possible. If you want to pick a date here, the latest date on which the limited liability company is to dissolve is, but we'll leave that, blank, and we'll just choose this option for now. Now, this section is an optional liability statement. You don't actually need to select this. It's not required by the statute. So we can save and continue and just move on to the next section. So this is the section for the organizer. The organizer will most likely be yourself. Please note that the organizer cannot be the limited liability company. You can't do that, but you can do a member, which is yourself. So I went ahead and just entered my name here. You can enter your name and then list the address of the organizer, unless you have a designated organizer. If the address of the organizer is the same as the address listed for the service of process, then you can use the service of process address. So I'm going to click on that. That way it just auto-populate the other information that I already put here. And then you're going to add the signature of the organizer. So we're just going to put our name or the name of the organizer, and then we're going to go to save and continue and move on to the next step. So now we're going to enter the filer's name. Again, same thing. I'm going to enter my first and last name. We're going to use the same service of process address. So it's going to be the same one. You also have the option of using the organizer address. And of course, if these are all the same people and it's you, then you just enter your information, and then you will confirm your email. All right, so this next step is the summary. As you can see, this is our articles of organization. It has the business that we created, our business name. So first, the name of the limited liability company is. Second, the county within this state in which the office of the limited liability company is to be located in. Third, the Secretary of State designated an agent. I'm the agent that was designated. That's my first, last name, the address that we actually put. Fourth, the limited liability company designates the following as its registered agent, and that's the city. Fifth, the limited liability company is to be managed by one or more member. Sixth, the existence of the limited liability company shall begin upon the filing of these articles of organization with the Department of State. Seventh, the limited liability company shall have a perpetual existence. And I certify that I have read the above statement. I am authorized to sign this articles of organization, that the above statements are true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief, and that my signature type below constitutes my signature. And then my signature filed by me, and that is everything. So once you've confirmed that all the information here is correct and you've verified, that the summary is everything that you need it to be, then you can click proceed. Now, here are those additional services. If you want a plain copy, it's $5. If you want a certified copy, it's $10. If you want the certificate of existence, it's $25. If you wanted to add on those additional services, you don't have to. They are optional. Now let's go to proceed. Now, if you did want those additional services, it's $5, $10, $25. So $240. The initial application fee is $200. So note, to ensure timely processing of your application, please use with Internet Explorer or Chrome and complete the payment process within 10 minutes of proceeding to the payment screen. Completing the payment after this threshold may result in delays in the process of your application. So you want to make sure you have everything that you need. Once you're ready, then you can click to proceed to payment, and it's going to be saving the screen. Again, you have a 10-minute window to complete that payment. And once this payment is completed, you are all set. You would receive all your documentation for your articles of organization, and then you can proceed to start with that publication. And that is it. You formed your business in the state of New York. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If there's a particular state that you want me to go over, then please let me know in the comments. I'll probably be doing 3 more states. Again, I just looked at my demographic information and the geographical locations that had the most viewers, my audience. I'm just covering all of those for now, but if there's anybody else that wants me to cover a particular one and it makes sense, and it's conducive of what the audience needs, then I will be more than happy to do that. If you have any questions or if you just want to leave a comment, then please drop it below. If I missed anything, then you can drop that below as well. I just want to make sure that everyone is getting the most accurate information possible. Thank you so much for watching this video, and you guys have a wonderful day.